So at this point, I can state two significant truths that came to mind while watching this past SmackDown and while planning to predict tomorrow's Monday Night Raw. Number one, after all the amount of nonsensical booking the WWE has taking all liberties for the sake of attempting to be unpredictable, they have demonstrated just how far gone they are from the times of traditional tournament booking, particularly the King of the Ring. Go back and watch 1993, 1995, fast forward to 2000, 2002, King of the Rings. The tournament was a proving ground specifically designed to showcase a wrestler that the company planned to get behind. Now it's a cesspool, shitstorm, pushing storylines that we don't really care for, carried out by matches we care even less to see. As much as we try to make sense of the possible outcomes for the tournament or tournaments, desperately making attempts to salvage what we are watching each and every week, the WWE is pulling the carpet from us, under us, making it less, even more difficult to make sense of it all. After the end of this week, there will be no more predictions for the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring as to who goes to the finals. We'll know who's going to Night of Champions. This is the last-ditch effort right here. And maybe perhaps after Monday Night Raw, do the predictions for SmackDown. Will be the last two-ditch efforts for making sense of how we got to Night of Champions, which ultimately, hopefully, creates a sensible path to SummerSlam. Now, the number two truth I wanted to point out about the current climate of the WWE product is that they are so stock full of advertisements, from the ring mat to the commercials, with each superstar playing a role in the commercial. So essentially they're doing double duty now. To more recently, I've noticed the middle turnbuckles being covered by Dodge Rams. It just calls back to WrestleMania 40 when Triple H stated that this is a new era, the Renaissance era, if you will, which hints towards a certain sense of sophistication, maybe some culture, some highlight to the art that is pro wrestling, and most of all, like allowing us to look at it through some sort of intellectual lens. Dare I say, a performance studies lens. But no. In the last 2 years since WrestleMania 40, they've gone in the complete opposite direction. Okay, this is not the Renaissance era. This is the Attitude Era. I am coining it. If somebody else hasn't already done so, it's an Attitude Era. The era in which TKO whores out the product, the stars, at the cost of storyline, creativity, and just plain good wrestling, all for the sake of making their return on the debt due to purchasing the company from the hands of a guy who is rumored to be making a reappearance in Vincent McMahon. From a fan's perspective, looking at the efforts of the wrestlers and the audience, engagement to the stage and tech production, I can honestly say it cannot be better, And yet, it is all under attack by the march of what is the antithesis to artistic integrity, and that is the selling the holy hell out to the point where I can't even watch a WrestleMania Night 1 with without being bombarded with advertisement after waiting for the next match with that stupid Netflix waiting time, that break, okay? Being longer than the matches themselves. We should be saying right now is the best time to be watching pro wrestling, and yet we are stuck with advertisements and scratching our heads. Because right now, the tournaments, they're not making much sense. And I'm not going to dumb myself down, okay, so that people can, so I could maybe just belch out some predictions or ideas that any moron could just kind of think of and be like, oh yeah, it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. It's not a big deal, and who cares? No, we invest our time into what we only have so much time as adults to watch a program on TV before we have to go to work, before we have to take care of families, before we have to do the things that we have to do at the home. You get a finite amount of time, okay? So you better make sure that it's quality TV. If it's not good, we'll talk shit about it. We'll straight up criticize the hell out of it. And I love pro wrestling. I have since I was about 4 or 5 years old. Okay, we're getting on 40 years worth of watching wrestling. Closely, too. Through all the time periods, through all the eras when it was the cool thing to do, and students in high school were watching wrestling because it was fun, because it was so trendy, and it was so cool to be watching wrestling. Well, of course, that was a long time ago, and it really hasn't hit home. It hasn't hit quite the same since, and that's why WWE is literally always reaching into the cookie jar to pull out some old school, classic Attitude Era celebrities, superstars, to make appearances at their biggest shows. That shouldn't be the case. When Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper and Macho Man Randy Savage were headlining each and every WrestleMania, were they going into the cookie jar, going after Bruno Sammartino? They brought back Bob Backlund, okay, on a whim and out of nowhere as a heel. Okay, he wasn't like some superstar that we desperately needed. Although he was a good addition for the time to do what he could do, but he wasn't like this guy that we desperately needed. Okay, kind of like people are asking for The Rock back. People are still talking about Randy Orton, like, well, he's going to get his number 15 or whatever. Who cares? Okay? Orton is so on his way out the door. Okay? He has been working since he was like in his early 20s. Okay? He does not have that many more miles left on him. Okay? And if you want to know why we have to keep doing that, it's things like this. The King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring tournament, which is designed to build new talent, to put them on a new level. But we have this mentality where, it's never going to be as good as the old days. You're never going to have superstars as good as the old days. There's never going to be another Rock. There's never going to be another Undertaker. There's never going to be another Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, who gives a crap? Like, what's that? Is that it? Should we just hang up hang it up? The pro wrestling as we know it is over, because those were the good old days. No, you keep moving forward. You bring in new talent, different talent. You get stars doing things that they could never do. Okay, because right now the athletic ability and the things that they can do in the ring right now are leaps and bounds more than the old school guys, the Attitude Era guys, the Golden Age wrestlers could do. And you know it. There was maybe a handful of wrestlers that could work in the ring like those guys. As far as the mic goes, yeah, some of them, a majority of wrestlers need to work on that. But then you have wrestlers who do know how to work the mic and are a lot, dare I say, more sophisticated, more smarter, more intelligent on the mic than Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Yeah, are they as entertaining? That's debatable. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Sami Zayn and his promo, his work with Cody Rhodes, which was one of the best segments I've seen in a long time, particularly on SmackDown. We've got Jey Uso making it to the King of the Ring, the number 3 guy that I thought he was going to go. For what? What is gonna matter if he wins the King of the Ring? Is he gonna go after Cody Rhodes? Do we really care to see him go after Cody Rhodes? I'm listening to what's being said online and what people think, and nobody wants to see a Jey Uso go to SummerSlam for them and go up against either Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. It wouldn't matter. Nobody's expecting him to walk away with a world title. It's not going to happen. More interested in the Sami Zayn and Gunther and Cody Rhodes storyline than anything that's going on with the tournament. More and more, I am starting to agree with those that are saying that we should put the title on Sami Zayn, at least for like a short period of time. I'm still backing Gunther one day winning that WWE Championship some point this year. It's going to him, okay? How we get there is the question. So, we have Dominik Mysterio versus Femi. And yet we still have no idea how we're going to be able to get Femi out of nowhere win, go to SummerSlam, and still deal with a Brock Lesnar. Does it make sense for him to go up against Brock Lesnar prior to SummerSlam, have him win and finally get that rubber match, and then what? Brock Lesnar goes up against Gunther at SummerSlam? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to get another career killer match? I don't think that we need to see Gunther retire one more person. So, that's a possibility. The other possibility is an attack that I have heard, and it is a good idea. I know JD from New York had stated it, and it made a lot of sense. A big attack from Brock Lesnar backstage on Femi, taking him completely out of the King of the Ring tournament, which he really does not need, at least at this point. I think he's way past the point of a King of the Ring tournament. Would it look nice? Just add to his accolades? Yeah, sure, but I just don't think it matters. Okay? Just doesn't. I don't think we really need it. People have been wondering about how does CM Punk fit into this equation? Well, you insert him into an open spot against Dominik Mysterio, who there's no way you could let win. That would be like either Dominik Mysterio or Javon Evans winning the King of the Ring tournament and going on to SummerSlam, the main event. It just wouldn't work. It's just not feasible. It's not sensible. So the only two are Femi, Jey Uso, or the possible inserting of CM Punk into the equation. That's it. And it all depends on what happens on Monday night. If CM Punk is inserted, make no mistake about it, he's going to the finals. He's taking on probably a Jey Uso. I would honestly like to see Javon Evans at least give him some more spotlight. Really, if Femi goes in, faces Dominik, doesn't get attacked by Brock Lesnar, wins, I mean, there's no other reason for him to move on past the Dominik Mysterio than an interference, because that's what this is, the interference of the ring, the king and queen of interference and assists. That's what this has been for the last month. So, if there is none of that, okay, which, by the way, this past Fatal 4-Way match, which was probably my favorite of the 4 Fatal 4-Way matches in the men's King of the Ring tournament, there was very little interference. There was more kind of like a defense against interference, although there was some. Still, probably my favorite. The outcome, of course, was questionable, to say the least. Now, Oba wins, great. I'd want to see Javon go to the finals. I'd like to see Javon Evans and Oba Femi, two future wrestlers. I'm not the only one. It would make sense. Okay? You see Oba Femi win, go on to SummerSlam, take on whoever. I mean, well, let's get there first, if that was even to happen. I mean, I would think that someone like a Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship, which is looking more likely now, and then have to take on Oba Femi, yeah, he would be the guy to, that would be the moment to do it, pull the trigger and start let's do this quicker. Maybe even Gunther. I'd be okay with that too. Hey, the match that I've booked for WrestleMania between Gunther and Oba Femi, maybe they're, they want to pull the trigger, do it right now for SummerSlam. Great. It's not my gut is not telling me that's going to happen, though. It doesn't make sense. They still have a lot more story to build with Oba Femi. I think if Sami wins, which I'm totally fine with, he would only hold the title for a short period of time. And unless Cody Rhodes turns heel, which I don't think that's going to happen between now and the end of the year, I'm still thinking it's going to be at the end of all this. The title will fall onto Gunther. They really messed up this King of the Ring tournament. They really did. There were so many other options, but right now, it's lost. They insert CM Punk, they salvage this whole thing. Have him go up against either Cody Rhodes or Sami Zayn, right? Or Gunther, whoever, whatever, because that's what we're going to get. I'm still telling you there's going to be more than likely a triple threat match at Night of Champions between Cody, Sami Zayn, and Gunther. Queen of the Ring tournament match. We've got Charlotte Flair winning the one match that I was like, okay, this makes sense. She got through. Same with IYO SKY. Those two women totally deserve to be in the final four, the semifinals. Liv Morgan, while I totally think she deserves to be in that spot, it doesn't make sense for her to be in that spot. Then we have Raquel Rodriguez. Now, what's looking like it could happen if, again, makes some sense, one of these women is going to get taken out as a result of their partner in the Judgment Day. I'll put it that way. IYO SKY or Charlotte, one of them's making it. That's a guarantee. For us to see Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan for the finals would not make sense. I'm looking more and more like Liv Morgan will not make it. Charlotte will make it. And that will make the most sense. If Raquel Rodriguez makes it, great. And that builds a little more tension between Liv and Raquel, which ultimately could lead to a match eventually down the road between those two. Maybe even throw in Roxanne Perez. Like I said, a little triple threat match between the women of the Judgment Day. The IYO SKY, on that note, IYO SKY, I think more than deservingly makes it to the finals. We see Charlotte Flair and IYO SKY in a banger of a finals match. That's the match to go with. And no matter who wins, one of them's going after Rhea Ripley. Now, if let's say now again, this is why, yes, I'm leaving some wiggle room with IYO SKY. She can still take on Liv Morgan after all is said and done. There could be interference. I've heard talks of Stephanie Vaquer coming back and interfering in Liv Morgan's match. Setting up a match for them between now and SummerSlam. And then IYO would ultimately get her chance to face Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, right, down the road. But I'm not even concerned about that. I'm more concerned about who's Rhea Ripley's opponent for SummerSlam. That's really the champ to beat. I mean, Liv's great, but she's not Rhea. And Rhea versus IYO, take my money. Rhea versus Charlotte, go ahead and take my money too. So those are the two competitors I'm looking out for to win this whole Queen of the Ring tournament. So we should get Raquel Rodriguez versus IYO SKY. It's a toss-up. I'm just going to go with IYO as a favorite. That's a biased opinion because I think she's much better. But, I honestly could see the WWE, if it makes sense to you, they go with Raquel Rodriguez and not Liv Morgan. So we see Raquel and Charlotte at the finals. That's what I'm thinking. So. And like I said, Dominik Mysterio versus Femi or CM Punk. And if it's CM Punk, he's going all the way. If it's Femi, something's happening with Lesnar, or who knows? They take him straight to SummerSlam in the WWE Championship or the World Championship, which doubtfully they're going to do anything with him and Roman Reigns. But we'll see. No, I mean it's funny when I say something in that tone that's like, no, it's probably not going to happen. They could have a match between Roman Reigns and Femi, and Oba just comes away a little short. They could. It's all up in the air right now. This tournament is definitely unpredictable, but it's not sensible. So let's just see what happens. Welcome to Chris's Chaos. I am your host, Chris Cortez. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button. A little tired. Ran about 11 and a half miles. I got a half marathon on Saturday to run. Going to be dedicating my run to supporting breast cancer research. And it should be a fun time. Hung out at Wilhelmstrasse Fest. Probably the biggest fest in Wiesbaden, Germany. Takes place right on the street, the main street, known as Wilhelmstrasse. There's a lot of food, about 3 or 4 different stages. It's great. A lot of people, a lot of drinks, a lot of food. It's good times. And yeah, have work all week, but have to get this video in. I'm going to do a little bit of a Smackdown recap as we then follow up with the Monday Night Raw predictions, because there's a lot, and I'm really looking forward to doing predictions for SmackDown, maybe even more so than tomorrow's event, because it's stacked, and it really is a stacked card. Maybe it's one of those last few 3-hour SmackDowns, so I'm told. And looking at SmackDown, there is one match in particular I was like, do we really? No, we did not need this match. So, I was thinking about, I was like, how are they going to be able to fit so much action and so much promos and segments and this and that into a 2-hour show as opposed to their gifted 3-hour show? Well, something like a B-Fab and Michin versus... gosh, I can't remember. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton, an 8-minute match, approximately. Nothing really mattered to it. That was the 4th match of the night. We'll talk about it briefly, or I might just skip over. I had no real interest in watching it. I really didn't pay attention to any of it. I see Michin do another Styles Clash, and that's about it. That's all I can really care about. Nothing. It doesn't really matter to me. So, we'll try to keep this going, smoothly and quickly. But after the little recap of Cody Rhodes and Gunther, Sami Zayn, right? We cut to a parking lot where Cody Rhodes walking into the venue. Aldis approaches Rhodes, asking if Gunther had, what's up with the stipulation, right? They're going to have they get a little run-in, a little approach. The Usos approach Cody Rhodes, shaking hands with him, being cool. Um, Jay says, nothing personal, but I'm going to win the King of the Ring tournament, then I'm coming out of your title. Again, could happen, but my God, would that be a boring main event? I almost feel like that's going to happen because of how boring and how nonsensical that approach will be. And then he's coming for Cody Rhodes. Rhodes is like, hey, you deserve it. That sounds great. But hopefully this decision comes from you and not Roman Reigns. Right? It's really digging into that whole, you're not under any control anymore. You guys are all working for Roman. Thought it was okay. I mean, here we go. They jump right in. I was very happy with the fact that after that, we got into the Queen of the Ring first round fatal four-way match between Charlotte Flair, Lyra Valkyria, Sol Ruca, Jade Cargill. This one went 18 minutes. Okay, of course there were some commercial breaks involved. So, starts with a gang up on Jade Cargill. Alexa Bliss, she brawls with the supporters of Jade Cargill, Meechin and B-Fab at ringside. Out of nowhere, Tiffany Stratton joins in to help. Great. More action-packed chaos outside of the ring between people that aren't even involved in the match. And this is a tournament, by the way. See a moonsault from Sol Ruca to the floor, takes out all three opponents. I'm starting to think this is a ladder match. Cargill hits Jaded on Flair, right? Only for Valkyria to break the pin, and Ruca landing on the Soul Snatcher on Cargill, only to be yanked outside by Valkyria. In the end, Flair locks in the figure of 8, which I was happy to see, and a tap out. I actually liked that final finish. There were a couple moves I was seeing that were like, which are the worst. When they're up on the top rope and there's like all four of them are like somehow latching onto each other and involve some sort of super quadruple suplex. I can't stand those. Okay, it's so choreographed. The whole point of professional wrestling is to make it look like a fight, not to completely diminish my suspended disbelief in what the hell I'm watching. Okay? You're supposed to make the dance look like a fight, not make it so obvious that I cannot suspend disbelief that what you guys are doing is dancing. Can't stand it. It's the worst. I'm thankful that didn't really happen as far as I'm concerned, as far as I was aware and watching in the men's King of the Ring Fatal 4-Way match. I was very happy with that. We'll talk about that. But Charlotte Flair, she advances. That's great. I'm more than happy with Charlotte Flair and her work right now. And I'm looking forward to see what she does moving forward. We get a backstage segment with Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, right? Kathy Kelly catches up with Stratton backstage asking why she helped Flair. Talking about how she hates Meechin, B-Fab, Jade Cargill more than Flair, and didn't want Jade to win more than she definitely wanted Flair to win, that's for sure, more so than Jade. So I'll put it that way. Out of nowhere, Chelsea Green. We get Meechin and B-Fab confronts Stratton, and Chelsea Green protects her, swinging his kendo stick. It was ridiculous. I really don't care, but I guess there is still some sort of bond between Stratton and Chelsea Green. Great. You also get backstage the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Usos warming up, getting ready for their Jey Uso's Fatal 4-Way match. Jacob Fatu comes in. Jimmy asks why he's there. Fatu said, well, he's not here for you. He's here to talk to Solo Sikoa. And Jimmy's essentially just doubling up on the fact that nobody is to get involved in that match, Jay's Fatal 4-Way match. So, and we'll fast forward. Well, I'm looking forward to talking about Solo and Jacob's interactions. It's actually entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. I like that story. I'm curious to where they're going with that. But anyways, we also get backstage Gunther and Nick Aldis. Aldis asking Gunther about his chosen stipulation, and Gunther said he couldn't trust Aldis for the WWE, so he's demanding the right to pick the referee. I had a feeling that makes a lot of sense. That it would be involving some sort of situation with the ref. That makes sense. Tells Aldis he'll announce the name by the end of the night, which again, I was curious as to how the hell are you going to put this much time into this stupid stipulation? But now I've got to give him credit. It makes sense. The way it went, this is the most captivating story on SmackDown. So, Finn Balor, R-Truth, Damian Priest. A little bit of tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Obviously, they have a history with the Judgment Day. A lot of backstabbing, a lot of betrayal, all right? A lot of jealousies. R-Truth comes off as completely oblivious to all this. Talking about we're bringing back the Judgment Day together. It is funny. I can't help but laugh. But Priest is, of course, telling R-Truth, look, you're a good guy, but we don't need that guy in our life right now. All I care about is the tag titles and you and working together to keep these titles. So I don't trust Finn Balor. So that's that. Okay. Really wished that Finn Balor got more screen time. It's, as much as I wanted him to win and as good as he looked in the ring and doing everything he was doing and just the vibe, he is looking better than ever. The fact that he gets very little mic time ever since the feud with Dominik and the Judgment Day, he really hasn't been given any spotlight. So, how am I to believe that they're actually pushing him, that they're actually backing him? Would have made total sense. He is ready for a world title. It's just a damn shame, but oh well. We get to the second match, Brie Bella and Paige against Fatal Influence, particularly Fallon Henley and Laney Reed, with JC Jane coming through. Throughout the match, there was a lot of double teaming and interference with JC Jane to cut Brie Bella for much of the match. Eventually, Paige gets the hot tag, hits Rampage on Reed. JC Jane interferes to break that up. At one point, Bella pushed Henley's roll up over. That was the thing that happened. Paige secured the three count. So Henley did a roll up on Paige, and then Bella came out and I guess pushed her over. Go figure. Great. Whatever. It's another one. I think Paige looked really good. She puts on certain moves. She's still excellent. I almost feel like I'm waiting to see Nikki Bella come back, and we get some sort of storyline here where Nikki inserts herself back with Brie, and lays claim to the tag titles, right? Paige needs to go on us. She is so due for a solo run. What are we doing here? This is one of the most talented women on all of women's wrestling, period. And you got her teaming up with Brie Bella with these tag titles that nobody really is concerned about. I would be more than happy to see Nikki Bella come back. Maybe they defend the titles a little bit or something. There's some tension between all these competitors, and these women, they get into a fight, and it leads to Nikki feuding with Paige or Nikki feuding with Brie or all three of them for a little bit, but whatever. There's really no direction here. I don't know what's going on, and I won't know what's going on until Nikki Bella comes back. JC Jane and Fatal Influence, on the other hand, wouldn't mind seeing the tag titles put on them. They're a full team, and JC Jane's kind of the leader. Let the other two have the tag titles. Let her go after a solo title. Probably one of the most captivating or interesting new wrestlers or new women's wrestlers that I've seen in a long time, out of nowhere, showing up. So every time they're on, I stop and pay a little more attention. So get backstage to another psychological therapy session between Sami Zayn and Johnny Gargano. Okay? Once again, Gargano is planking on an equipment crate this time. Candice LeRae now is behind him on the phone. Zayn's talking about how he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't or whatnot. And his catch-22 problems. Being the good guy only got him in trouble. Being the bad guy gets him criticized. Complaining, and LeRae sort of talks to Zayn, but at the same time telling Gargano, insinuating that Gargano, maybe you just need to get up and start doing something, right? Which is what we're all waiting for Johnny Gargano to do. And Zayn says, oh, hey, you're right, Johnny. This is what I need to do. I need to just go out there and make a move, make action. Thanks, Johnny. Is this so is this the new, addition to the psychological therapy sessions of Johnny Gargano, when we almost have an Inspector Gadget and Penny situation where Candice LeRae is now giving psychology advice to wrestlers backstage while Gargano sits there planking. Not wrestling. It's been months. It's looking at least a month and plus, maybe two, where Gargano is paid to travel to plank. And his wife is also getting a paycheck to play with her phone and provide some advice. That's where we are right now. While I'm amused, at some point you got to wake the guy up. It's sad. At least get him in the ring wrestling. Like, have him like planking on the announce table, and then out of nowhere he gets up, wrestles, does some moves, and doesn't say anything to anybody, gets back to planking in backstage. He's a wrestler. He's one of the best to do it. And you got him planking. So you get another episode of Danhausen's Lab. This is great, right? I will say this though. The Miz, I think, did a great job acting like he was almost in zombie mode. The Bride of Frankenstein hairdo was a little over the top, too much. But the way he was just hitting his catchphrases like awesome was pretty impressive. And when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. But the way he would say awesome was pretty great. I was gonna say it was awesome. Because that is kind of one of the things that we do, friends and I, like randomly, we'll just go awesome. It works. Just when you think these little clips of Danhausen are just a little too over the top, too cheesy, too campy, there's some humor. There is humor to it. It is working. It's more than just straight up ridiculous, straight to the kids. No, some of it's pretty funny. I feel bad for Matt Cardona, who is pawning off his watch and ring for asking Danhausen not to curse the Knicks, whereas Angel and Berto are trying to pay Danhausen to put the curse back on the Knicks. Again, another group of wrestlers that they could be, doing so much more with. They are feeding to the Danhausen train, if you will, this big Danhausen push. At one point, Kit Wilson comes in, loses his temper, tells Danhausen to uncurse The Miz. He ends up getting electrocuted. So are we going to get both Miz and Kit Wilson acting like zombie? Stay tuned for the next episode. And then you get that in-ring, you get Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes in the ring. I mean, this was really, I couldn't help but laugh and enjoy. It's one of those moments where I was sitting with my wife and I could, not feel embarrassed about watching pro wrestling and watch a segment like this because it was good. I know it was good. We know it was good. Sammy comes out, addresses the crowd, mixed reaction, saying, you could boo him, you could be miserable, or ride or die with the last real good guy. He really is leaning into that Bret the Hitman Hart gimmick. That's what this is. Calls out Cody Rhodes to clear the air. Zayn tells Rhodes about helping him repeatedly and paying the price every time. Asks him, is this actually an accident or is this your plan? Rhodes replies, wrestling's a competition. You can't turn that off. Told Zayn that lately you just suck. And you've been whiny. That's why people are booing you. Okay? You suck. You're not the same Sami. You're not my Sami. Anyways, he also points out that as long as Cody Rhodes is champ, Sami Zayn never will be. And that is when things get interesting. Sami Zayn smacks Cody Rhodes. It kind of looked like he had smacked just the microphone, but looking at it a second time, it's definitely a smack to the face. Tries to calm down Rhodes, who was pretty upset, and Sami Zayn gets smacked for his efforts. Zayn goes out the ring, grabs a chair like he's going to attack Rhodes. Of course, he throws it back on the floor and leaves the ring. So we'll see them again backstage not long after. But we do get the backstage promo between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Fatu delivers the message that Reigns is saying, hey, we want you back with us. I told you that this was going to eventually happen. After Reigns was like, hey, they're next. He wants Solo back in the fold. He wants the end of the My Family Tree, the MFTs. Sorry. It's been a couple weeks where I couldn't even say MFTs and actually confidently say that's the name of their team. Because I think the team name is pretty ridiculous in itself. My Family Tree sounds like My Little Pony. It sounds like some kid's toy. My Family Tree. Terrible. Terrible name. This is great, though. I like Solo Sikoa where he's at right now. He's no longer seeming like, some secondary bloodline tribal chief or just like some influencer trying to get people talk to Royce Keys, for instance, to join his MFTs, or even the leader of a second-rate bloodline. He came out at this moment and basically being who he was meant to be, who he's always been when he's best, and very intentional, very passionate, and pissed, saying, that he goes alone. I mean, the name speaks for his name is Solo for a reason, and he's best when he does things on his own. He's doing it for himself, and that's it. He's definitely more intriguing than I've ever seen him. Since this promo was great, can't stress it enough. Sikoa says, you want me to come home. Roman says to come back home, but it's not a home, it's a doghouse. And Fatu, essentially, you're a lapdog, embarrassed and embarrassed you, humiliated you, made you bend on a knee in front of the world. Tells Fatu if Reigns wants him back, he should come himself. I just love that Solo Sikoa was so adamant and angry about this. Because, again, I don't think he ever wanted to be that way. And at one point, he was kind of the lapdog. He was the agent for Roman Reigns. So he knows what it's like. And he's kind of been the last one, kind of that last, person to come back in the fold. And I love it. And I do think he's going to be a very interesting character because he's kind of always going to be on the edge. He may join, and that's fine. But they could take this a little bit further and have him be that one that is always going to be on the outside from now on. Still play a factor in things like War Games, for instance. And I'm still thinking, I'm telling you, the more they build this up, the more we will start to see breaks between him and Talatonga and Tamatonga. So we'll see a promo between Solo and Royce Keys that gives me more, of an idea that maybe perhaps there will be a little bit of maybe perhaps Royce Keys will join. We'll see. So I think maybe I could see Royce Keys being a heel and joining the MFTs. But here's the thing: the MFTs are gonna drop Solo. Okay, that's what I'm predicting. Not just because it's because it makes the most sense. Number one, and it's because it's something I would want to see more than ever anything else. Is the MFTs just reforming as the Guerrillas of Destiny? It's just staring at you right in the face. And that would be the War Games between the Guerrillas of Destiny and the Bloodline. And drop the whole MFT's name. Okay, and then have Solo Sikoa be the wild card as to who he's going to help. Bloodline or the Guerrillas. Is his hate for the Bloodline more stronger than his, anger towards the Guerrillas of Destiny after they basically drop him? And we could wind up seeing him help Roman and the Bloodline, but still kind of stay on the outskirts. That would make the most sense. We could also see the MFT, if they really wanted to push him, have the Guerrillas of Destiny win War Games. We're talking way down the line towards the end of the year, about closer to 6 months, 5-6 months from now. But there the seeds are planted. Next week, next SmackDown, we do have a Tamatonga match. I could totally see them losing and have an issue, and Solo doesn't do what he's supposed to do in terms of helping them, and that starts to plant the seeds of anger between Solo and the rest of the MFTs. So, get the third match, which is the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. Champion Rey Fenix defeats Axiom. Went about a little over 12 minutes. A little bit of high flying from Fenix and Axiom. Like a suicide dive to the outside by Fenix. A little ground attack from Axiom. Near rear naked choke on the top rope on Fenix. Axiom goes for the golden ratio finisher, but instead received a vertical brain buster from Fenix. Kicks out. Fenix sat on top of the rope looking for a Mexican muscle buster. Axiom counters with a Spanish fly off the top for a near fall. Looked good. Fenix fights back, lands 2 spinning kicks, ultimately hits Axiom with the Mexican muscle buster to retain the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. What's interesting about this is that it is the first time the AAA Cruiserweight Championship defense was defended on WWE major television internationally. This is the first, really what I want to look up is that this was the first time there was ever a Cruiserweight Championship match since, the last time there was a Cruiserweight Championship was the 205 Live days. That's going back, 10 years, maybe? 10 years ago, there was a Cruiserweight Championship on WWE. I never understood why they couldn't just push it. Well, mainstream audience, most people don't care about small guys. That's, please. Darby Allin is over there winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, okay? Rey Fenix is somebody that was so pushed in AEW, and people loved him because he was incredible. Even more so than Penta. As much as I love Pentagon Dark, Rey Fenix definitely has a little more athletic ability. Okay, I think there's more character with Penta, and he's the bigger of the two. But Fenix was always kind of the superstar to shine between the two, as when they were the Lucha Brothers. So it's sad that it's taken this long to get more spotlight on Rey Fenix. I thought there was like beef between Phoenix and Penta. They're kept so separately, and there's so much less, time, less video time for Rey Fenix. But whatever, this is how you got to do it. Okay. And what I'm really impressed is that I'm not even impressed, but just happy that they are giving you some from Cruiserweight Championship action. I say give us some more, but we'll see. And then we, of course, get that BFAB Michin match against Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. It goes 8 minutes. This is clearly the bathroom break, the beer break. Let me get another snack break match. Okay, wasn't really needed. Then you get the reveal. Backstage, Gunther reveals the stipulation. He wants none other than Sami Zayn to be the ref. Okay, which is perfect. So we'll set up for either Gunther to win the match, or we will get some sort of botch, which will lead to a triple threat, and Gunther will be even just as much angry at Zayn as anybody else. We could see the very trigger being pulled. Gunther wins. And then, hey, tell Sami, hey, I'm going to give you a title shot because of your great reffing. And he just takes him out. Because Sami and Gunther, we've seen it before. And Sami was the one that beat Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship after all that time, that record-breaking amount of time that Gunther held the Intercontinental title. Loses it. WrestleMania 40. I was there. It's a good time. But I think Gunther's on another level. In terms of entertainment, in terms of having my attention on TV, Sami Zayn is leaps and bounds over so many other people. But in terms of in-ring wrestling ability and just believability, it's Gunther. So, but yeah, it's going triple threat. It's still my outlook on all this. So, and that about does it. I mean, we have that one more match. The main one, what am I kidding? The Fatal 4-Way. Lastly, the Fatal 4-Way between Uso, Knight, Balor, Royce Keys. This one went about 15 minutes, approximately, about 16 minutes or so. We do see a little promo with LA Knight telling Kathy Kelly that, here we are, the Bloodline's back together again. Mocks Roman Reigns. Basically says that against all odds, he's going to wear that crown. A little sloppy on his wording, but he's got great pacing with his mic skills. So can't deny it. He's very funny. It's very entertaining, this LA Knight. Get Jey Uso coming in first with his crowds. Get LA Knight coming in at some. When all of them are in the ring, LA Knight's about to do a run it back, which causes a little anger from Jey Uso, who attacks LA Knight, and we get the match going. Royce Key really establishes dominance throughout this, the first couple minutes of this match, first 5 minutes or so of this match. It was great though. Balor, he takes the lead between Uso, Knight, and himself. Takes out Royce Keys and says, hey, let's take this guy out. They clear up the announce table and they do a triple power bomb, Shield style. Okay? And it was smart. And that's the type of stuff that you want to see. If you're going to if I'm watching a Fatal 4-Way, I want to see 3 people gang up on one person and do a triple power bomb. Make it look easy because it's 3-on-1. That's the type of stuff you can do in a multi-person match. So, one point, Keys comes back, drives Jey Uso into the steel steps, just tossing everybody, delivers a power slam on LA Knight. Pinfall broken by Balor, followed with an avalanche top choice Royce power slam on Balor, only for Knight to break that pin up too. Back in the ring, Balor found his opening sling blade on Keys, shotgun dropkick into the corner, then up top. LA Knight met him on the ropes, but Balor dropped him right onto Jay and landed the coup de grace on both men. Looked good. Royce Keys pulled Balor off the pin and threw him over the barricade, over the floor. That's essentially the end of Balor for this match, which was sad. Because I really felt like he could have had, there was enough time given where he could have gotten up and gotten involved. And broken the Jey Uso pinfall. You got Jimmy on the outside, making sure nobody's getting involved. Meanwhile, Solo Sikoa comes out, tries to get involved. He ends up getting attacked, like hit by Royce inadvertently for his efforts. Solo Sikoa does hit Knight with the Samoan Spike. Keys then hits the spinebuster on Knight, went for the cover before he could get a 3 count. Jay leaped from the top rope, took out both competitors, and pinned Knight to steal the win. So Jay celebrates with Jimmy, and that's kind of the show. Goes off air. What is terrible, I can't believe they did this, but then again, whatever. It's WWE. No SmackDown member advances. This is a total Raw tournament. You know, that would be interesting if it was clear and it was clear cut. And they had said this before, that it was supposed to be this way, that if a Raw competitor wins, they go after Roman Reigns. But now, all of a sudden, they threw it in there. No. You can go after whichever champion you want. Well, what the hell is the point of like saying that and then going back on it? And then like, what is the point of these damn rosters? Of the brand split itself, if we're going to do that. And wouldn't it be more interesting if we're looking at all these Raw wrestlers and now we know they're going after Roman Reigns, more than some stupid sit down, well, let's find out who the winner of the King of the Ring tournament is going to go after. Whatever. Anyways. I guess it makes it a little bit more unpredictable, right? What's really unpredictable is how Sami Zayn is going to factor in this match next week between Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Very much looking forward to that. That's a recap for SmackDown. I know it was a long one. I know there's a lot to cover. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Okay. Femi versus Dominik Mysterio, right? After the little notice that Mysterio put on Femi, only to get destroyed by him and JD McDonough, there's really no chance in hell that Dominik Mysterio wins unless an interference comes from Brock Lesnar, which is why you expect it. There's even buzz. I mean, even online, like everybody's expecting it. So, yeah. I mean, it would be very interesting if everybody from the Judgment Day tried to break this thing, save Dominik, but that's just not enough. Not for Femi. He's too Goldberg over to let a team like the Judgment Day. He'll take him out like Goldberg took out Raven's Flock, in his match for the U.S. title. I think it was match number 50, if I'm not mistaken, or match number 100, or whatever the hell, 75 maybe. Split the odds. Anyways, so Dominik Mysterio, if he goes through, it's because there's help from Brock Lesnar, and that's that. Pardon me, yes, it's late. It's about 11:30. You got IYO SKY versus Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah. She got the size advantage, but when it comes to skill, IYO SKY's leaps and bounds, like I said. But if there is one Judgment Day member to go on to the finals, I'm going to go with Raquel Rodriguez. So there you go. But I want IYO SKY to win. Chad Gable versus Rusev is the singles match is looking like. Yeah, this is going to hopefully push Gable into that IC spot, because that's where, that contention. Because clearly Rusev's going after it, as is Ethan Page. Rey Mysterio's involved. Yeah, And Gable's kind of trying to make up for his, his disrespect to the Luchadores. This is his first stop on his journey back. It's ridiculous. But it works. And we love Chad Gable. We love what he can do in the ring. So I'm okay with this. Apparently Roman Reigns is going to show up, right? Probably be more discussion on what's going on with Solo Sikoa. We could see some interaction between Reigns and LA Knight. Yeah. I mean, that does beg the question. If let's say someone wins the King of the Ring tournament, immediately goes after the WWE Championship, it still leaves open, an opponent for Roman Reigns. And LA Knight still is looking like that guy. So if we see any interaction between Reigns and LA Knight, it's looking like they'll push for a match between the two at SummerSlam. It would make a lot of sense. So we'll see. I mean, as far as I know, there are a number of wrestlers that are expected, considered. Wrestlers like Stephanie Vaquer, CM Punk, perhaps. We'll see. Yeah. I could see Chad Gable beat Rusev, by the way, if I didn't make that point. There should be at least one more match, right? Besides Femi, Mysterio, IYO SKY, Rodriguez, and Chad Gable and Rusev. There will be probably one more match that I'm not thinking of. A tag match, perhaps. But, yeah. SmackDown is stacked with that the other two semifinal matches and the Gunther versus Rhodes match. There's a couple more matches. I think one or two more matches that I was very interested in. We'll talk more about that next video. But guys, it's been great. I better run. Still have to edit this bad boy. Probably won't even be able to do it tonight, but I'll edit it, have it out for y'all. Should be able to see it in the morning. And yeah, hope you enjoy Monday Night Raw. It's been fun. Had to let a little bit off my chest as to the WWE product in its current form. And I'll continue to do that. So, but until next time, guys, hit that like or subscribe button at Channel Cortez 33 on Instagram and Twitter. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.